Welcome to the pilot episode of Connections in the Chaos. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Sarah. This episode is about how we found each other and started finding ourselves.
Yay! And it's my turn.
Yep.
Check-in time. So, one word or two words each about how we're actually showing up this week. Sarah.
Jessica, my 1 to 2 words. Right now I'm really tired and feeling a little under the weather and so excited to be kicking this off. It was really fun to see our trailer pop up in like the real world of podcasting in the last week. And I think there was a moment where we both were feeling a little like maybe it doesn't need to happen tonight that we get on and we do this. And I'm so glad that we are. So a little tired and very excited. How about you?
I love that. And yes, I agree 1,000,000% with all of those things you said. Yes, I feel, let's see, two-word check-in. Definitely excited. And I'm just going to go with excited. Just excited.
I love it.
And very much so agree with like it's late. It's 10:40 at the time. I think we got on at 10. By the
Yeah.
time we figured out what we were doing,
Yeah.
it was, now.
Yeah.
Um,
Bedtime.
and we both had long weekends and kids who don't want to go to bed.
Mhm.
It's easy, right? That's the thing. It's easy to not do the thing.
Yeah.
And I tell the kids, you're doing the right thing when it's the hard thing.
And I already feel so much better
Me
that we've got our
too.
week.
I mean, yeah.
All right. So the chaos report for the week. Do you want to start? There's something going on this week that's making you think.
Yeah. So, I'm going to use the prompt, which is the moment this week or moments that you felt the tension between who you've been and who you're becoming. And so I started a new job on Wednesday,
Congrats.
and thank you. I sometimes feel like, oh my gosh, I should, which is a swear word at my house,
Mhm.
have figured it out by now. And in my head, this new job, is the job, and hopefully it's as exciting and all the things in real life as it is in my head. And I think the big tension is reminding myself that should is a swear word, and we don't do that. And also when Brene Brown says, feel the joy,
Mhm.
just feel the joy, feel the joy. And um, I've thought about what could go wrong, and I've had things go wrong in, my other jobs, are not really wrong, but not ideal. And so I prepared for those. I have those experiences to go from. And, maybe this one is rainbows and butterflies.
Maybe it is. And you know what? I think you need to remember to trust yourself because you've been here before and you don't do anything without putting a lot of thought into it. And so,
Thank you.
yeah, thanks for modeling that for me. And so, in choosing this new journey, you've already done a lot of the research, right? So, trust your gut, trust your decision. And no matter what happens, you're gonna come out on top because you always do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I have you.
Well, baby.
How about
I
you?
it's a little bit similar, the feelings that I'm
Okay.
having, and I think since that morning we had breakfast and started talking about well, we've been talking about this podcast for a while, if we're being perfectly honest, but in that, you know, 2.5 hour breakfast meeting that we had, um, and kinda got lost in all the universal cues that I have been noticing started to come together and look real for the first time. And so in the last couple of weeks, leading up to even this week, I feel like I'm soaking up a lot of content around allowing ideas to live in my space. And instead of saying, "Oh, I can't do that," and letting fear take over, um, I have this awesome idea and let's do a podcast. And you're so the like right side of my brain, and I live in the left side, I think. I don't know. And I don't know. It's just something that clicked. And as one thing clicks, a door opens to the next thing that's like, no, this is what you're meant to do. This is what you're supposed to do. And um, you and I have been both talking about Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic that I actually came to from a friend who recommended it. And I think the tension that I'm carrying and uh, the paradoxical
Mm.
existence that you love so much is that in order for creativity to really take root, I have to be aware of my fear that it's not going to work or it's not going to. What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if nobody listens to our podcast? Like all of those things. And so
Mhm.
I'm really embracing that. I'm really embracing it's okay that fear is there, but I can't let it make my decisions for me. I can't put it in the driver's seat. I just got to go for it.
Yeah, you do. And
So
when you go for it, I mean, look what happens.
I
It's
know.
amazing.
Here we
It's
are.
amazing.
Woo! It's
A-
very
And
exciting.
who wouldn't want to listen to it?
I know.
And if they
Mm,
don't, that's okay
yeah,
because we can listen to it and we
for
can
sure.
leave it for the kids
Yep.
and they will someday think we're cool.
I mean, maybe. I think
And if
so.
they don't, whatever.
We'll get a good laugh out of it, at the very least.
Um, it reminds me of I was listening to the Curiosity Shop new episode today, and they talked about pre-mortem, doing this
Ooh,
like what could go wrong.
yeah.
And I thought about our podcast and like what could go wrong. Well, a lot of things could go wrong. One of the things that the listeners don't know is we already recorded this and now we're starting over because we learned the last time in our very green podcast ways that we didn't use the best platform.
Mhm.
And that was one of the things. And look at us. We're just,
Yeah, doing
picking
it.
up and moving on.
Well, and it's easy to do that when you love the person you're doing that with,
I mean, yes,
right?
that so resonates with me.
So good.
Oh, well, that is a good segue into the cracking. Um,
Mhm.
who we were, who we found, and who we're becoming. So let's talk about our story and
Yeah.
finding each other. And who were you when we met at 39?
Oh gosh. This one is so funny to me, and I remember exactly what I said in round 1 of this take, and it was I was completely lost at 39. One of the hardest years of my life, and again, the paradoxical existence, also very exciting. I was about to have my 2nd baby, my last baby, my family finisher, and it was COVID, and the world was falling apart around me, like, the world and my world were falling apart at the same time, and, yeah, I was lost. I was really lost, um, and thank God we found each other. We'll talk about that in a second, but where you were also at 39 and when we met, right? 39 or just a little were you 40 already?
Yes, had just turned 40 cuz right? Or maybe
I I
yes,
think so,
yes,
give me the brain.
because it was your birthday we celebrated.
Yep,
Your 40th. Yeah, so
mhm,
I was not 39. I was already 40.
okay. So 40 years old, who were you when we met?
Overwhelmed. So wildly overwhelmed. And yes, the COVID um situation where my husband was considered an essential worker. So he went back to work in June physically, and Keegan was in kindergarten. So I was homeschooling him. Fallon was in daycare. And so she was home while I was homeschooling him and working full time. And Jay was gone.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine as the dumpster on fire rolls down the street.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
understand why you were
yeah.
overwhelmed, though. Can you tell me about that? I'm just kidding.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Very
so
profound.
massively overwhelmed. And I think also like appreciative of the realness that people had to see of other people because right, I felt like I was a hot mess all the time.
Mhm.
Um, pre-COVID, after COVID, during COVID, all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and like that one clip that was on like CNN where the dad was doing a video or a record like a Zoom, and his little daughter came in and like pranced around, and then the wife came in and like scooped her up and left. But like it was nice to sort of see those things happen to men, just not just moms.
Yeah. Well, and it was so much easier to hide our crazy prior to Zoom life.
Yes, yes. So
And you could
much.
show up at work and pretend like you were all put together, even though,
And like your worst problem was like, oh shoot, I forgot my lunch.
yes. And it's fine because there's a cafeteria or a little
That's
shop
right.
down the yeah. Um, so some of our story, like some of my favorite parts of our story are the beginning, right? When we were living in COVID life and we couldn't really talk to anybody. Um, what are some of the first things that you remember about our friendship and just getting to know each other, knowing it was meant to be?
So Jenny, my neighbor, down the street neighbor, um, she and I met, I think, like around that same time because her house number is also 50. So she
Mhm.
was oddly like getting our mail, we were getting her mail, and then we just like chit chat outside. And she said, like, oh, you need to meet my friend. Her daughter is a lot like Fallon. And I was like, oh, okay. And she said it a few times, and then it just worked out. I think she had us over, we were outside, the kids were playing. It was just whatever conversation we had, I don't recall what it was, but it felt natural and just
Mhm.
like like we'd known each other a long time. The girls were well, the all the kids were playing hide and seek, and the girls were counting. And they were the seeker, Keegan was the hider, and they were 3 years old and counting. They get up to they're 1 to 10, then 11, 12, 13, 13, 15.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, did that just happen? They both
Yeah.
skipped 14 together in unison.
And said
And
13 together.
and they instantly played very well together.
Mhm.
And so that was just so fun, and it just felt great, like you said, like like being with people where we felt
Mhm.
comfortable, and the kids were we didn't have to play with them because they were playing with each other. Um, and then leaving there, we walked home, and I had given you my phone number, and you said you would text me, and so we were walking home, and I get this ding ding or whatever my text message sound was. And it says 315 whatever. And that is the area code where I grew up. And I was like, what is happening in the world right now that
This is
how on
crazy.
earth do you have a 315 area code number?
Mhm.
And and then, found out how that happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just kismet for
Yes.
sure.
Love
And
Kismet.
and the other one, I don't want to take up too much time on this, but just the, you know, 2020, right? Was it?
Mhm.
No, it was 2021. And must have been. And for Dave,
Yes. I was gonna
and
say.
I was like up late at night, probably having like a crap day, and
Yeah.
saw that Dave Matthews
Yeah.
tickets were on sale, pretty close to us. And I remember just texting you like, "Hey, Do you like Dave
Um,
Matthews? And he like, would you want to go? And you were like, yep.
yeah.
And then, I mean, every single thing that we had, every connection, every experience
Mhm.
was just like, oh my gosh, this is my person.
Yeah. And
And
almost effortless, right?
yeah, so effortless, so effortless.
Mhm. Well, and I think if I were to think about all of those memories, yes, and then one of the ones that I just think is so funny now is that, Jenny was our person during COVID that Isla and I would hang out with all the time while John was still working. And um, when we were introduced and got to have that first meeting, like, oh, this is so great. And then Jenny would say, oh, let's just pop over to Jessica's. And I was like, oh, we haven't called, we haven't texted. I can't do that. That feels weird. And now, like, I don't think twice about just walking in your house
I love
unannounced.
that so much. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's just so great. Um,
And well, and that reminds me of that popping over the one time you guys, and this was must have been, I don't meet 2021. It had to have been 2021.
yeah.
And when my kids were downstairs, and Isla was like, "Oh, I've never been inside," or something. And I was like, "What?" And you were like, "No, she really hasn't." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like she hasn't been inside
Yeah,
because we were always outside."
outside. Mhm.
And do you
Thank goodness,
remember
it was
we
nice.
she had the Jenny had the Halloween where we all just bought bags of candy and threw it in the yard, and
Yeah,
that's because the kids
scatter
couldn't trick
them.
or treat,
Yep.
or yeah,
That was
something.
2020, I think.
That had to been right,
Yeah,
October 2020.
that fall. Yeah. Yep, I do remember that. It's oh, man,
Aw.
and I also think, another of my favorites, it's just so silly and so perfect, is right away, I think we had this feeling like we'd known each other forever, and so
Forever.
anytime we tell a story that we actually hadn't heard yet about our lives, we would say, "Remember when we were in preschool and this happened? Remember when we were in 7th grade and this happened?" Even though, you know
Well, you did, I think in real life say, "Remember at my wedding?" And
Yeah.
then you were like, "Oh, wait a minute." Like, and I think that was a thing too, like,
Yes.
"Oh, right, like we actually
Mm,
didn't know each other."
mm, just feels like it. Um,
Yes.
but
Yeah, and then it
forever
turned into like, "Remember when our moms were friends and pregnant at the same time and we
yes.
were womb womb
Womb
friends?"
womb friends.
Oh gosh.
Love it. So, um, we talk all the time about this friendship being the friendship that all others are compared to now. Um, and so for you, what do you think this friendship cracks open for you and in you?
Oh my gosh. So many things. But the thing I think that stands out the most is, sorry, I'm going to digress for a minute, because do you remember not that long ago when we had a conversation about this bar of friendship now that like is so high for any new people? And then the next thing was not like doctor's offices, not accepting new patients, like sorry,
Yeah.
not accepting new friends because the bar is so high.
Yep.
Um
I do.
so for me, so many things, but I think the thing that I never experienced in my lifetime, or maybe that's not fair, to the other people that have been in my life, but or are still in my life, but not to this level for sure, because I
Yeah.
didn't know that it was a thing until I
Mm,
met you,
yeah.
was unconditional acceptance. Like never in have I you have just always been like, "You're fabulous how you are," and
I
you
mean it.
mean it.
Mhm.
I never question it ever,
Good.
ever. I mean, there have been times where, like, I've said something to the kids and I'm like, "Oh, I'm, like, the worst person ever," and you're like, "No." It
Mhm.
is like, no, and what is like, talk about a special gift, and
Mhm.
for me to then know, like, that is a real thing that is
Yeah.
accomplishable, um, and then to be able to model that
Mhm.
for me, for my kids, for any interaction that I have. Um, I've learned so much from you. But
Yeah,
that is
do that.
I would say the biggest thing. So many things. But if I have to choose one, which I'm terrible at choosing just one thing, that's it. How
Yeah,
about you?
I totally get that. I agree with that a lot. I think the other thing that you inspire me to be is honest, and I don't
Hmm.
know that I've ever had a friend that is as honest as you are with yourself or with me. Um, and so not only do you model it, but you also extend it as a gift to me, which is amazing. And I think I'm someone who strives to be an honest person, and it's hard. Like, honesty is not as easy
Mm.
a virtue as people
It's hard. Yeah.
make it out to be. And so I don't know, you make me want to be honest about things that are going on for us and between us so that this friendship can remain intact as long as possible, and not just intact, but to grow and change with us as we grow and change. And then the other thing that we also talk about a lot is just it's hard. Confidence is a hard thing and always has been for me. And to see myself through your eyes is
Mhm.
pretty magical, you know, and I'm so grateful for that. And I think when I'm up against something hard and trying to follow the signs that the universe gives me or make a choice that's really hard or feel good about the way I parented through a situation, it's almost like, what would Jessica say about this? Like, you would be my cheerleader, kind of similar to what you said. Like, you would always have my back and say, no, actually, this is probably where that came from, and it's okay. Okay, that I don't know, and I never been good at being my own cheerleader or
Sure.
talking myself up, and I think it's easier when I think about what would Jessica to say to somebody, about
Not
Sarah.
somebody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't but thank you for
Yeah.
saying that. And yes, you are freaking Wonder Woman in my
Oh,
eyes.
right back at
Um, yeah, it is really special. So special.
and I
Oh,
think you
I just
don't.
love you so much.
Oh, yeah. I think that you don't you can go through friendships that are wonderful
Yeah.
and never have that thing, right? That,
It's
like,
so much.
true
Yes.
acceptance
Yeah.
and that, like, like, I look up to you as somebody who I wanna be like, and
I That resonates so much with me.
yeah. So, yeah, for me, that's a big part of what it is. And I could just be myself around you
Yeah,
wholeheartedly,
same.
through and through,
Hmm.
so that's pretty
You
fantastic.
really also, not that other people don't, but you really, I can't, not welcome, I can't think of a better word, but like celebrate maybe my intensity.
What do you mean?
Oh, like, okay, we now have a folder with 700 documents and here's the plan. Or, oh, like before the Dave show, and I was like, okay, can you just take a moment with me and
Yeah,
let me talk through this emergency plan? And
yeah.
you're like, yeah, sure. And
Mhm.
then it was over and everything was great. We had a fabulous time. And like, just, that safety never takes a vacation for
Yeah.
Jessica.
Well, and what you probably don't know about that is that when you do that and I, like, make space for that time, it really reminds me that I have that side of my brain that I don't, like, explicitly share a lot, and it's like, "Oh, yes, this feels wonderful," and if not for the 700 folders with the plans and frameworks and all the things, we wouldn't be here right now today. And so I've been chuckling to myself about that. Like, oh, Jessica organized us and here we are doing it. And if not, I'd still be over here in right brain land, like, or left brain rather, just like, oh, what a great idea that would be. And here we are.
Oh, and that is a good segue into, I know that I think I'm supposed to hold this. Oh no, I'm
Mm.
not going to hold this one. The slime kit. Did you know so we talked about this in round 1 and I kind of forgot about it, but that was such a perfect segue. Um my family were camping and Sarah and the kids came to visit us one day and she sends me this text that says, well, I think there was a typo because originally I was like, what is she wants to bring what? And then it was
No.
a slime kit. And I was like, that is not for me. And then the next just couple words are, I will do it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, you do it. You do it. And I have pictures of you with the kids having the best time ever with some sand slime and
Mm,
some, I don't know, little mix-in things and some glitter.
yeah.
And sand and slime and glitter are like my
Mhm.
worst nightmare.
I
My
thought you were gonna say
worst
your 3 favorite
nightmare.
things. I will do it.
But that's that left brain. I'm like, I'll sit here and watch you do it
Yeah.
because you're so good at it, and I don't even
Make
think
up
I
the
touched it
floors.
because
No.
Fallon was like, "Ooh, look at this is so cool." I was like, "Yep, that looks great. Good job."
Well, and I didn't even really read the directions, thought it was gonna fail, and then all of a sudden I look over and the boys are like, "Ooh, look at this slide." And I was like, "We did it, guys. We did it."
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. Thank
Oh,
you for being that.
no, it's great. I appreciate the way that you organize my life, and I'm happy to bring the sand slime anytime, glitter and all.
Oh, good
So good.
good pair for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of pair, what do
Mhm.
you think, I guess oh no, we did talk about our jobs in the
Mm.
trailer. What
Yes.
do you think, being a principal and a research administrator, those roles say about us?
Uh, I think
Or
they
maybe
s
you say about the principal, I say about mine.
yeah, well, I think for both of us, we are boss ladies, and what's so funny to me is we're so different in the way that we do that, and at the end of the day, we both do that, right? Like, organize some
Yeah,
stuff, organize some people. I also think that when I started my job, and I think this is gonna be ring true for you as well, but in some ways, when I started my job, I was not looking to be a principal. I was a longtime teacher, science teacher, mostly middle and high school, and I loved that job. And when the principal thing came along, I tried to say no. It's like there's no way I want to do that. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was going to get to work with a mentor of mine who I respect deeply. And I was asked a question in my interview. So you've never been a principal before, Sarah. How do you begin? And I said, well, that's pretty easy. I think they thought I was crazy. I said, I just lean into my best, most incredible skill, and that is to build relationships with people, to get to know people, and use those relationships to leverage our growth together. And I think, though I am nowhere near perfect because no one is, and I still have a lot to learn about that role, I absolutely have done that. And I think that the people I work with and that I serve in my community would say the same. Most of them
they
anyway.
well, if they don't say that, they're missing the mark because I don't know much, but I know that that is right on. Right
Yeah,
on.
thanks. See, like I said, you see in me all the goodness. What about you? What about research administration? Other than being a bad boss lady, what do you what does that say about who you are?
Um, the relationship part, 1,000,000%. That's my favorite part of it is like getting to know people and their story, and it's really helped language wise. As you know, I'm a very literal person.
Mhm,
I believe in the definition of a word and I try to use that word. And so one of the things that in this profession we often talk about is administrator language versus PI language or faculty language. And we could be talking about very different things using very different words. And
mhm,
it turns out like, oh, we're talking about the same thing. And so that is good for my brain to be able to rethink. And I just like, I love that stuff.
mhm.
Um, and the other thing is it's really prepared me for life in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
certainly with a communication piece, but a big part of my job is compliance. And so I often have to get things in writing. And so
Yeah.
sometimes, someone may forget that they told me something. And then kindly respond like, oh, well, I have that in an email on Tuesday. Would you like me to bring that up?
Yeah.
And it's helpful. And like, I have to be overly organized and have some attention to detail. But I
Yeah.
think it harnesses a lot of the traits that I didn't know I could use in a positive way, like the
Mhm.
relationship building and all of that. I'm very curious about people and just in general or stories. I love hearing stories. And so the research part, of course, is interesting to hear about. And then just being able to help and explain like
Mhm.
my side of the world
Yeah.
is great. And I think I've heard I've often heard like you're too sensitive. And then I learned throughout this career that that is actually a superpower for
Yeah.
me. And it really helps with that relationship building.
Mhm. I think you're, I think I've even seen you grow in this in the time that we've met, but your ability to communicate clearly. I've always looked up to people who are really precise with their language, and I think that goes back to honesty, right? And I think that those qualities that you have make you I've never worked with you in research administration, but I believe I could hear what your people would say, about the way that you communicate and the honesty and integrity that you bring to that role. And you do it, in your
Thank
other
you.
relationships too, with your kids, with your family, and your friends who are lucky enough to be a part of that. Nice.
I love it. If the kids were grown up and nobody was watching, what do you think we'd be doing?
Oh, man. I have a few thoughts about that. One is that we would just be following them around, watching what they're doing, being their biggest fans together, bringing our intensity and our silly, probably renting an apartment wherever they're playing professional sports or, performing.
Heck yeah.
And I'd like to think we'd be doing this,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Like,
Wearing silly clothes
yeah,
and yeah, for sure.
maybe we'd
Doing
be
whatever
leaving
we want.
a little earlier in the day, maybe.
Yes, for sure. Like when it's sunny out.
Yeah, camper time, and we'd be together in the camper instead of over
Yes.
digital media. But yeah,
Yes.
no,
And that's coming for us too,
I can't
though.
wait. Camper season. Bring in the podcast to the camper. It'll be great. What do you think
Chaos
we
from
would
the
do?
camper.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I want a T-shirt. Yes, from the camper.
Oh, I
Um,
agree, definitely. I think, like, having some real estate in all these cities where the kids are playing and, we'll be those moms. I don't know if you saw the highlight of I'm not sure what it his Braylon maybe is the, kid from Yukon who
mhm,
ended up winning, and I just saw a snippet or whatever of his mom's reaction.
that's
And I
you.
was I was like, "I love her, and I must meet her." And yeah, I mean, that will
Mhm.
be us for
Yeah,
sure. And
no
then
question.
on living our best lives and, maybe you'll be like when you're not cheering them on in your Carhartt onesie, making some pottery,
Love it.
and I'll be like organizing something.
I love it. My pottery
Or like
business.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I could definitely do that. I can be the cashier when people buy stuff.
And maybe you'll get out there and start your actually my pottery could be part of this for you, but it would be PS for all the listeners. I don't actually do pottery yet, but someday I will. Um and you could start your gift buying business because you're
Oh,
so dang
that's
good at
right.
that. Yeah.
I forgot I
And
wanted to do that.
and you can do it from on the road while we're traveling because that could be done virtually.
Yeah.
right?
I think we're gonna be so to sum it up, we're gonna be doing one or more or many of our many fabulous ideas.
Yeah, because we have lots of them.
Yeah, we do.
We just need to keep having breakfast meetings, and this shit's gonna be
Oh my
manifested into
gosh.
reality.
Yes, and I forgot to add, or I didn't forget to add, maybe I did, but at that breakfast meeting,
Mhm,
I walked out of there. So it was like we got there, I think we met at 8 a.m., planning to leave in
mhm,
like an hour because it was your day off, but you were going to go to work. And I probably was supposed to be working.
mhm. I think you had a
And
meeting.
yeah, probably. That sounds right. And then I left there and I was like, walked outside, like, oh, it's so bright out. I felt like I had been in a casino and I had no clue what time it was. And I recently just heard that that's like
Flow
an
state.
indicator that, yes, that you're in flow. And
Yep,
I was like, we were so flowing.
we were,
Yeah,
and it shows because we actually did the thing we've been talking about for at least a year, if not more.
I think more.
I think so too. Launched it. Launched it. It
Launched
is
it.
launched. You can go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all the other places, and you can find our podcast because we did it.
We did it.
Ah, so
And
great.
we're gonna have some updated cover art after
Mhm.
tomorrow.
Ooh, how exciting. We sure are. I can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
Yes. All right, one of my favorite parts of this segment, do you wanna introduce it since it was your idea?
This was uncovered during our which maybe will now be like our
Yeah.
blooper of, the pilot episode, song lyric of the week.
Yeah. Oh, there were too
And,
many to choose
oh,
from.
there were so many.
What is yours? Where'd you land?
Well, what I said the last time, and I say it again because I'm also staring at that same sticker,
Mhm.
but I this is not the one I wanna choose. So,
Okay.
um So the future is no place to place your better days. Dave
Mhm.
Matthews Band. I love that very much. But my all-time favorite, and it fits really well right now, probably probably always fits, is "We Live to Survive Our Paradoxes" by the amazing Tragically Hip.
Mhm. That is a good one. I
How
think
about
that
you?
might be one of the first things you told me about yourself was that that was your favorite hip lyric.
Right, and you knew them.
Mhm.
Also wild.
Mhm. Not as well as you do, but really love them.
Uh, but you knew them. Like, that was so many people don't
Don't.
because they're
Yeah.
Canada's band.
Yeah. True story. True story. So my lyric this week, it's so funny. I picked a Brandy Carlisle last week, and in the blooper edition of our pilot episode, and I'm going to Brandy again this week, which will probably be a common theme for me. And she just released a new album not that long ago, this spring, um, called "Returning to Myself." And the song "Woman Overseas" about her wife, Catherine. There's a line in it that says, "When you're this far north of 40, the growing's up to you." And the next part of that line, that lyric, I'm not gonna get it right, but it says, basically, "Even if you were to grow apart from me, I would die to watch you bloom." And
Oh,
I think, yeah, like, growth. I feel so much growth in my 40s that I didn't anticipate. And I think that's a place that you and I find each other as well, in that we are people who like to think about who we are as people and what our best means. And I think we connected a lot over that. And so I kind of chuckled when I heard that. I was like, this far north of 40. Oh my gosh, I'm over 40 eek, and about to be 45. Um, and yeah, I've never felt more in control of my own growth than I do right now.
love
So
that. So
yeah,
fitting too.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. That kind of makes me think of our tool and takeaway segment. Um, and something else we connected on early as one of our growth mechanisms, if I can call it that, was our love and growing practice that we each had separately of nonviolent communication, Marshall Rosenberg, right? And um, this idea that we all have universal feelings as humans that we have access to, and that they're all a result of our universal needs being met or not. Um, and so I don't remember where we took this last time, but when you think about feelings and needs um, and nonviolent communication, where does that bring you in terms of your journey to grow as a person?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, I'm not sure I have a solid answer, but what I can say is now that I know it, I can't unknow it.
Hmm.
And so I really notice a lot more language
Hmm.
and judgments, and especially if I'm being the judger. Um, and so I think it's really helped me
Hmm.
be able to communicate factually
Yep.
and to model that hopefully for the kids. And so it certainly helped with my communication, but then much more broadly in my perspective in
Hmm.
because for me, like the language that I use, it impacts on how I view things.
Yes.
And I also like when, you know, I'm freaking out or as the kids say now, crashing out, um,
Oh.
I will think to myself, what do you need right now? Like
Hmm.
just take a reset and what do you need? And then why do you need that? Um, and or what are you feeling? That's right. What are you feeling and why do you need that? What's that feeling do for you? And it is very helpful to work through. I have the deck of cards.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever talked. Have we talked about the cards? And
I think
and
a
so
long time ago.
I've read the book, like
Yeah.
15 times, and every time I'm like, "Whoa, that's now I get it more." And so, um, the when I'm really having a hard time, I get the cards out,
Yeah.
and then it also just reminds me how many feelings there are,
Yes.
and
And how many needs there are.
yes, yes, and so I
I know
think
that.
it really just has helped me in growth wise to summarize my very long-winded answer of communication and
Hmm.
perspective.
Yeah. Awesome. I would agree with that. And I think again, that's why you're so good. Again, I've watched you grow into your communication skills, even though they were super strong when I met you. But um, that precision of language, that precision of communicating exactly what you want to communicate, which is, I think, a very powerful piece of having good, solid communication. And you do that really nicely. I think for me, um, I've always been a big proponent of feelings. And I think as an educator, we teach kids really early now. We didn't used to, but now how to say, this is what I'm feeling. And we don't often get to the why of the feeling or the so now what? Sure, you can name the feeling. That's very powerful. That's a really important step. But then what do you do with it? And I think as I practiced, read the book, worked with it in practice in a community that I was learning it in, which was a really important piece of that for me. Um, it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about my feelings and where they come from. And gosh darn it, if there are not a lot of recurring themes when
Uh,
you have those good feelings. You're laughing. I know you know what I mean. Um,
yes, I feel like Roy Kent's fudge fits in perfectly here.
yes, and that's why I do that. Um,
Yes.
and then not only like learning yourself and what those feelings really like where they stem from, and then what you need, um, or what need wasn't met that is causing the feelings that are hard to handle. Um, and on the flip side, the feelings that you're having that are really good, I don't think we typically teach people how to name the bad feeling, the hard feeling,
Mhm.
and associate them with a need that's not met. But how fun to take a look at a really great feeling that you have. Um, It's like, gosh, what need did that fill? And
Yes.
you just learn so much about yourself. Um, and I believe through that whole process, again, my long-winded answer, through that whole process, it has taught me that it's okay to validate my feelings and it's okay that I have them and they're just a part of who I am. And it's not, I'm a big feeler, as you know. I saw that mother's face after the winning shot was scored. And it's like, why isn't she crying? I'm crying. Why isn't she crying? Just like could bawl hysterically the whole time. Um, but yeah, just like it's okay to be a feeler. I don't think I
Yes.
knew that when I was younger, and nobody told me I shouldn't, but I just think that wasn't the way we learned, to deal
Wasn't
with
the
it.
time to
No,
have feelings back then.
no. And so I'm having them all now.
Yes, I'm with you. You're not alone in that.
Thank you. Welcome to the connections and the chaos. Yeah.
Oh, this is the chaos.
Yes, I am the chaos. Oh, goodness. Um, so if you had to fill in the blanks of this question, the statement rather, I keep coming back to blank because something in me needs blank. For this week, how would you finish that sentence?
I mean, that's so easy. I keep coming back to it's not really a feeling though, but it equates to feelings and needs. I keep
Mhm.
coming back to wanting to podcast more because something or everything in me needs much more Sarah Jessica time.
Yes.
And that's really for me like a connection, right? Like I feel so validated and all the joy
Mhm.
and that like all of those good feelings
Yep.
when we're together,
Same.
even on Zoom or
Yeah.
Riverside or whatever
No.
platform we're doing it on.
Yes. I feel like I keep coming back to the connection with you and prioritizing this time because everything in me needs the dopamine spike that I get from being friends with you and being in your presence, which is basically what you said. Oh, just with a little sciencey word in there.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And, like this sort of feels, I wonder if people will think like this is scripted and it's really not because we just have like so much, we're cheese balls for each other.
It's great. It's so
It
great.
really is. Like, I
And you
hope
two can
everyone
find
has a
your
Sarah in their life.
yeah, you two can find your cheese ball buddy. They're out there.
We should be cheese balls for Halloween.
Oh my god. Okay, but what kind? Mozzarella or cheddar cheese puff?
Like the big BJ's thing of cheese balls.
Yes. Okay, done.
And the
Um,
kids could too. We could all do it.
I love it.
Utz, right? Are they Utz?
Yes. I think yes. The big container is, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad loves those and he eats them with a fork.
Oh my God, I was just gonna say because then your hands are orange for a week.
Yes. Would it be really, like, tacky if we were the cheese balls and everyone else in our family wore white and just had the cheese powder all over them?
That is amazing. I mean, maybe it's tacky, but I don't care. I think it's the
Also
best idea.
so metaphorical.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm
Oh,
done. We'll figure it
it's
out.
yeah, it is. And with that, it's closing time.
Movie time. Okay.
And too bad in our learning, we learned that we really can't use that song because that was a great, fabulous idea that we had to use the semisonic closing time song at this
Well, we ain't
segment.
got no rights to that.
No, 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 we don't.
Speaking of precise language. Um, all right. So this is gonna sound maybe a little redundant, but what's one thing that you love about doing this together? And then one thing you're gonna sit with for our next episode.
Okay, so the redundancy, yes, and it's fun to explore this with you because I mean, it's fun to, obviously do anything together, but this is new for both of us and it's super fun to do it together.
I agree. And I'm just looking forward to getting to see you in this way on the weekly. Our schedules get real crazy, and our kids
Yeah,
are
they do.
in some of the same directions and a lot of different ones. And so, um, I know we're coming into spring, but through winter, this will be a godsend when we do this despite our hockey versus basketball schedule.
Yeah, the
Um,
longest seasons of the year.
yeah.
Yes. And the thing that I'm gonna sit with before our next episode is to maybe be a little bit more prepared,
Mhm.
um, and having make some time for reflection
Yeah.
more to better articulate my thoughts. And
Agreed.
then
Agreed.
also to tell you right now that I'm going to be coaching softball. And so that is going to really infringe on our time that we normally would spend chatting at softball.
You can't see my face, people out there, but I'm so excited. I know I shouldn't be because it sounded like the opposite of what I should be excited about, but I love that you are coaching our daughters.
Not I'm the second in command because our other coach's daughter will move up. So then I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh my gosh, now I got to like learn a lot more than."
you're gonna do great. Oh my gosh, I love that though. And yes, that will infringe on social.
But then
But
we'll
that's okay.
podcast. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be great. Isla will be so psyched, which makes me happy. I think what I'm gonna sit with is also a bit of reflection, and I think I promised that in the blooper reel that I was gonna reflect more this week, and I did, except I didn't lean into the strategy that I had chosen, which was to kind of journal a little bit, even if for a few
Oh,
minutes every
yeah.
night. Because I did a lot of reflecting and I was like, oh, this song lyric, oh, this quote in this book that I'm reading, and this moment, like I want to share this with Jessica. And some of those I forgot. So I think writing them down or having a place to keep them um, is going to be helpful moving forward.
Yes.
And
And tomorrow, when we get to be together physically to do our super fun thing, perhaps we should, because I do remember you saying this, and I said,
yeah,
I'm going to buy us some journals. And then, like,
oh
a butterfly
no,
flew by and I totally forgot.
yeah,
Um,
sure.
we maybe could venture out and get some.
I love that. That's a great idea. I think that'd be fantastic. All right,
Amazing. Okay.
and we'll get to
So we,
report back on our super fun thing next week.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I
That's
think
like the theme of I've said that like 700 times. It's gonna be great.
it's gonna be great. It is gonna be great because we're cheese
And you
balls.
know what? It is great, and I am a cheese ball.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're just trying to say is we don't have it figured out,
We're just not doing it alone.
and neither
And
are
neither
you
are
because
you.
you have us.
Yay! And you'll find your cheese ball. Don't
You'll
stop
find your cheese
looking.
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you too could podcast, you know?
Oh,
Nice.
thank you. Thank you for being here with us, and until next time,
Go find your chaos.
you'll find your cheese ball.